Okay, so this is part 2 of Flex Seal paste and Flex Seal Max spray on my waders. I'm gonna test a set of boots and 2 set of waders in the river before walleye season starts. And hopefully I don't repeat myself too many times about Flex Seal, about putting on boots, putting off boots. So this is part 2 of part 1. So yes, this is part 2. Check out the first one on how I applied everything, and we'll go from there. But this should be my final video on Flex Seal. Okay, so it's my favorite time of year. Walleye season is starting sooner than we thought. I thought it'd be 1 to 3 weeks, maybe 4. And there's tons of activity here at the river. So I'm gonna try my boots first that I fixed with the Flex patch or paste, Flex paste, and then I will come up and change into the waders and test those as well to let you know how well it worked. Here's how the boots turned out after one huge whole patch of the Flex paste and then 3, I think, coats over with the Flex Seal spray. Okay, for the first step, it's a literal step. They're still flexible even with all that paste and spray on them. Heading down to the water. And here goes the test. I'll just stand in there a little bit. My feet are dry and I don't see any bubbles coming up. So that is great. They passed the test. Might put one more coat on them, but these are good to go for another year or 2. Perfect. I'm so excited. Now for the next test. Had another coat on here. Another 1 or 2 coats where they were really leaking in last year. These weren't leaking too bad down here, but right along the edge here and along the seams and along the holes where hooks had gotten into my neoprene. Okay, here we go with my second test of patched waders. Whew, deeper than I thought. So far, so good. Nothing coming in. I'm amazed. This is awesome. I got to get up to my crotch where that thing was leaking last year. Got to get out to the deeper area. It's cold water. It's only 36 degrees, but I better get down in there. And nothing is bubbling, nothing is coming in. That is a good feeling. As you can see, no air coming out, nothing filling up. So my boots are a success and my waders, my first set, are a success. Last year with these waders, these brown ones, I would have had a boot full definitely in the first couple of minutes right at the end of the season, and right now I have nothing in there. It just feels cold because the water is so cold. It's probably 36, 37 degrees, but there is no wetness in my waders whatsoever. So highly recommending Flex Seal. Okay, so I've got my last set of waders I'm going to be trying in the river. First set of boots were a success. The first set of waders were a success. Now I've got my worst waders that I had to patch the most. We're going to see how that works out. If you haven't seen what I'm talking about, I'm working on Flex Seal. This is part 2. Check out part 1 on how to apply Flex Seal and Flex paste to your waders and boots. As you can see, my crotch was totally ripped out, so I sealed that. And then my boots, this is the one with all the white marine paste and goop and caulk and all that, and the huge tear on the side and the boot goo. So I went over all of that 3 or 4 times. We're gonna go get in the river now. Okay, so heading back down in. Hopefully don't drop the camera. I'll be able to tell right away because last year these rushed in. So far I'm dry. Last year I would have been sopping wet at this point. Okay, I can feel it. It's coming in my boot from the bottom. So my one right boot is going to be full before I'm done here. Now the crotch area is fine. There's nothing coming in that. There's nothing coming in the legs and nothing on the left boot, so far it's a success. I do need to go home and dry these out. I'll dry out the left boot. I could feel that it was coming in from the bottom, so I might have had a puncture on that one foot, but last year it gushed in at the end. So I'll show you what my sock looks like. We'll go home and dry them out and go from there. So the rip that I had here that I have patch on the other side is totally dry, and then I'll show you when I take out my foot. It is sopping wet. So one side was perfect. This is the one side that's totally dry. Last year it would have been soaking, so I'm halfway there. I'll take this sock off, try and see. Maybe I could find out right now while we're looking at this what the problem is. It started leaking in. I felt it coming in from the bottom, so I don't even know if I can patch that and still walk on it. So I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna dry out the insides, and then I'm gonna seal this really well along the edges, and I might even put a big coat on the bottom. Oh, look at that, there it is. That's where it came in. I'm gonna dig that out and see what I can fill that in with that paste. And that's what it was. It filled me right away. I could feel it coming from the bottom. So this will be the wrap up to part 2 of the flex sealing and flex pasting of your waders and boots. I could go on and on and on. Everywhere that I patched stayed dry. I didn't see that one on the bottom. I'm gonna see how I can fix that. And then I did find another one by my knee that had no patch by it, but there was a hole there. So yeah, check out part 1 on how to apply the flex seal and flex paste and get out in the river.